goodbye. Yeah,
You get to relax.
I did. Yeah, watched a lot of football yesterday. Sat on the couch with my family and got a chance to enjoy those games. There's some good games. And today is my son Luke's birthday, 10th birthday. So happy birthday, Luke. But it was a good family week.
So you activate DJ to the 21-day window. Do you anticipate him being able to play this week, or is it take it as he goes?
Optimistic. We'll take a day to day once we actually get to see him practice. But I think he's in a healthy mindset right now.
Do you have any update on Jamar Chase on when he might be back?
No update yet on him.
How has he progressed through this kind of injury process?
Everything's been good.
We talked to Darren last week. He talked about considering the change at punter. But talking to Kevin today, he said he's anticipating punting. Have you thought in that regard? Are you still sticking with Kevin?
Well, we get a chance just to take a day to day and make any decisions as the week goes on.
Back to DJ Bridger. What does he bring you from just an interior pass rush and to trickle down to that to the tackle next to him to then with the ends and all that?
He is one of the best D tackles in the NFL, and it's not just the pass rush; it's the rundowns as well. He does such a great job winning, freeing up those around him on the line of scrimmage, freeing up the backers behind him. So again, that's a big piece. If he's able to play Sunday, he's a captain, so he brings all those leadership things to the table as well. Tremendous energy. He's a great playmaker, and we're lucky to have him on our team.
Could the timing be any better given what the second half of the schedule looks like? I like that better.
We've played some teams that have run the ball, so the timing's never perfect. But again, getting him back here for this last half of the season is critical for us.
When DJ is doing well, how much better does that make Sam and Trey on the outside?
Right. I mean, I think it all ties together. Those D tackles, those D ends, they feed off of each other to help those behind them play better. And so just getting him back in the mix, I think elevates our whole team. We got some great snaps for the guys behind them, while DJ was out, while Josh has been out. So you got some young guys that got a lot of experience there, which is going to benefit us, in the long run.
What was your message to the team today, given you guys have the whole second half in front of you? I know there's probably an emphasis on getting on track in the division. What was your message today?
Well, you just look at where we're at and all the teams that are on our schedule are teams that are kind of around us record-wise. And so, again, we just got to take it one game at a time, and we really control our own destiny here. We get an opportunity to play all the teams that are in the mix, and if we take care of business, then we're going to be in great shape.
Was one of the games you watched yesterday the Steelers, or did you figure you'll see them enough in your office?
No, I watched the game. It's good. I always go through and watch the TV copies anyway. But it was good to see that in live. The Jaguars playing at the same time, so I was kind of toggling back and forth, watching my brother. But yeah, it got a chance to watch all those games.
Is there something you like about the TV copy? You get the all 22. I mean, what is it about the TV copy you like watching?
The emotion part of it, just the flow of the game. When you're just watching the all 22, there's no narration, there's no flow of what's happening and injuries and all that kind of stuff. You just get a better picture of it once you watch, a couple games on the TV copy is always helpful for me.
What does that do for you as a coach?
Just to see the flow of the game. It just gives you a little bit better visualization of how the game unfolded. When you're just watching the tape, you're checking the scoreboard, trying to get a feel for it, but you get a better sense of the rhythm, I think, when you see it live.
What makes TJ Watt as dynamic as he is?
He affects every play. He's really smart. You can just see he has tremendous awareness in the run and the pass. Probably does a great job hearing calls. Does a good job communicating those around him. You can see that, and impacts the first run of the game he was involved in. First play, I think they had a false start. Second play, he makes a TFL. I think it was him and Cam. So he's somebody you always got to be aware of. He makes, again, going back to all this DJ conversation, he makes those behind him better because they know the ball is going to come out quicker. And so, of course, watching all his snaps came the 90 or so against us, and then last week. So last week, as we're watching the personnel, the only time we're watching him play was against us. And so it's a remembrance of how good he is. Not that we forgot, but how good he is and how much he impacts that defense. And you saw it last week when he was playing New Orleans, just lifts up that entire defense and makes a lot of plays, and you got to be concerned with him in every play.
You and Frank have both talked about Lyle as being a guy who's gotten better as the season has gone on.
Yeah.
To see he seem more not ready, but in a better place heading into this second matchup against TJ?
I thought he did a pretty decent job the first time they played, and again, I think Lyell has done a great job every single game that's passed, feeling more and more comfortable in our system, how we're doing it, and so we've got a lot of confidence in him going forward against a lot of difficult matchups that he'll have.
How different is Pittsburgh now compared to when you played them in week one, and how relevant is that game tape when you're preparing 8 weeks later?
There's a lot of snaps in it. There's high 90s. Just tape went on forever. How much different? There's things that they've been doing for years that they obviously believe in and take great pride in doing. And it starts with the front. They have a great front, and so those four guys are healthy now. And they've developed that depth behind those guys, but they play those guys as much as you're going to see any front four take snaps in a game. They play probably the highest percentage as a front four of any defense in the league, and there's a reason why, because they're really good, and so it starts with them. And so with having all four of those guys healthy, and the depth they have behind them, they just feed off of that. And so you can see that defense last week again when you get TJ back, it steps up a notch, and those guys did a great job last week.
Do you anticipate Dax Hill potentially playing this
We'll
week?
see. We'll just take it day to day with him and make those decisions as the week goes.
What are your plans for Brandon Wilson? Y'all brought him back on top of the deal.
Well, he's always done a great job for us, especially as a special teams player, four-core guy, returner. Fills in on defense, as a safety when we've needed him to. Last year he played against Jacksonville. And so again, now just getting an opportunity to watch him in these 21 days. Not somebody I anticipate playing this weekend, but now get him back into the fold. He's done all the rehab work. He's feeling healthy. And so now seems the right time to take a look at him for these 21 days and see where he's at.
What would you like to see from Burrow during these last, the final 8 games or whatever we have left?
Keep playing at a high level. That's because that's what he's done, and just continue to do that for us.
When you look back at what he did well last year in the back half of the year, what was it that really impressed you more so than maybe anything?
Well, I think he plays with great timing. He takes a lot of great pride in understanding the defense and what they're trying to accomplish, and making plays when there's not a play to be made, and that's what the great quarterbacks do. And if a play breaks down, it's still alive with him. And I think he's like all the other great quarterbacks in this league. The play goes on forever, and you got to defend for a long time when it does break down. And he's still got the ball in his hands, and that's one of the things that as a coach is nice, that he's going to make some plays when maybe call the wrong play into the wrong coverage or the wrong pressure, and he just makes it work.
You mentioned like some of the big games you have coming up. How does a big game in late November, December, how is that different from a big game in September? How does that feel different?
Well, the only big game we got is at Pittsburgh, and so the weather starts to turn a little bit. Our guys embrace that, as an AFC North team. We understand that part of being a great team is embracing the elements and playing well in these conditions. Today wasn't even a bad day. It was 40 and sunny when we were out there, so this was nothing. But I think our guys, start to get ready for these big games that are in not so great weather, and we have to embrace that and be great in those conditions.
Has the offense changed significantly, Pittsburgh, since they've gone from Trubisky to Pickett? I mean, have you noticed any kind of changes just fundamentally in what they do?
I don't think anything drastic. I think he's made some good decisions. He can be really accurate with the ball. Made some big plays with his feet the other day as well. He's a really good athlete. Gives us guys a chance to go make a play. So again, he's a rookie who's got a lot of talent. I think he's doing a good job managing that offense. They got a lot of playmakers around him as well that they do a good job utilizing. And so, it's one of those times your defense has got the work cut out for them, because they got a lot of really good playmakers, and they try to spread the ball out and get the ball to all those guys.
One thing TP was talking to us about is the team has to get off to better starts more consistently. How do you go about doing that as a staff, preparing the team to get off to faster starts more consistently?
I think the last 4 weeks we've done a great job of that. We scored 35 points and a half, 28 points and a half. New Orleans, we had the first drive that didn't go our way, and then we got points on the board. But the Cleveland game was just the one. We were in scoring position 3 times in that first half and came away with no points, and that hurt us. But aside from that, I think starting fast, we're maybe 4th in the league in terms of points in the first quarter. So I feel like we're doing a decent job as of late doing that. It hasn't been perfect in every single game, but our guys take a lot of pride in being efficient early on and trying to give ourselves a lead and having that opportunity to play with that lead.
Is that consistency, that urgency, a theme of yours though going forward? We got to have it every week.
Right. I mean, that's the best way to play football is give your defense a lead and let them pin their ears back. And that formula has worked well for us when we're able to achieve it. Just got to keep trying to start fast.
What's the biggest lesson you learned as a play caller from those first 2 weeks? Pittsburgh, Dallas, a lot of pressure, a lot of sacks. Did you take away something about this team and maybe Joe from those first?
I think that's the part of the early season that's always. I don't want to use the word tricky, but you got to kind of sort out where you're at as a team, and there's a lot of energy on both sides of the sidelines theirs and ours. We obviously played two of the better pass rushing teams in all football those first 2 weeks, and we knew that going in. And both of those games, those were probably the 2 games of all of our games where we did not start fast on either side of the football, and that's why we lost 2 of the early games. 2 of our 4 losses have been in those first 2 games. So I think as a team, we've grown from that and done a better job playing complementary football, in the 7 games beyond that. Great. Thank you all.
Thanks, Zach.